Olá pra quem tá assistindo, de volta aqui com a nossa série de Fallout 4 Sobrevivência. Já vou dar um aviso agora, que talvez nos próximos episódios, dependendo de tudo como ocorrer, a série Sobrevivência vai acabar de uma maneira abrupta. Mas não que eu vou deixar de gravar esse vídeo, a série vai finalizar, só que vai finalizar sentado no Sobrevivência.
I prefer laser weapons
Porque
myself. It's a cleaner
eu tô tendo um
shot
bug
and
frequente
leaves that memorable ozone
e eu vou
smell
acabar perdendo o
behind.
save. Então, pra eu não correr o risco de perder esse save, eu vou jogar no. Eu vou diminuir a dificuldade, caso aconteça de novo. Eu tô fazendo mó gambiarra, tô tendo que ficar toda hora manualmente excluindo um save dos três slots de sobrevivência. Então já tô avisando aqui que dependendo eu vou ter que baixar a dificuldade e vai ser de sobrevivência. Aí eu já embico pro final do jogo, só pra não deixar ela sem encerrar, e finalizo sem estar no sobrevivência, e Far Harbor eu já gravo no. Crio uma nova playlist pra Far Harbor já sem estar no sobrevivência. E é melhor do que perder o personagem, que esse personagem aqui tem 2 dias. Eu tenho mais de 50 horas com esse personagem, não vou perder ele agora.
Hey there.
Well, wondered when I'd see you again.
Welcome back, Paladin. Welcome home.
Glad to hear someone say that. Listen, I didn't have a chance to thank you properly before. I want you to have my old gun. It kept me alive all those years. Maybe it can do the same for you.
Thank you, Paladin.
It's not exactly a regulation issue, but I hope it serves you as well as it served me. I'm not sure I still have a place here. I've been away for too long. Maybe I'm not cut out for the Brotherhood anymore. But I'll give it time. I owe it to you and to my team. Thank you for giving me another chance.
Tá, eu vou entregar essa arma pro Dance, porque eu tô com um limite de peso bem pesado. Pronto. Deixa eu explicar essa arma aqui. Eu tô com essa arma aqui porque em alguns momentos a gente vai precisar de ter um sniper. Então eu fiz esse sniper, mas as minhas armas vão ser sempre essas daqui, os padrão, tá? Ela só vai ficar no inventário, eu vou ter que selecionar manualmente, que é alguns momentos específicos que eu vou precisar de sniper. Então eu já tô com ela de jeito. Eu já comecei a ouvir direto aqui da Priden pra já te entregar as missões. Vamos lá. E hoje eu tô sem Power Armor porque eu esqueci de colocar por causa da tensão que eu tava tendo com os saves. E fora que não é exatamente a necessidade de ficar dando tempo todo de Power Armor. Demora demais.
I received
Elder.
word that Dr. Lee is returning to us. How cooperative do you think she'll be?
I've convinced her that the Institute is the enemy, not the Brotherhood.
Well done, Knight. As soon as Dr. Lee arrives, we'll interrogate her aboard the Pridwin. She's been under the Institute's influence for the last decade, and we can't afford to take any chances. Now, I believe you still possess an important piece of data that Proctor Ingram is eagerly awaiting. I want you to bring it to her immediately. Once again, Knight, you don't fail to impress. Dismissed.
Beleza, vamos lá. Vamos quase subindo de nível de novo.
Joining our cause was the wisest decision of your life, brother.
Hesitating to pull the trigger on any of
E se por acaso acontecer de eu ter que baixar a dificuldade só pro muito difícil tirar de sobrevivência, eu vou começar a fazer desafios. Vou andar pra lá e pra cá sem estar com item lendário, esse tipo de coisa.
Proctor, I came across a holotape with a full scan of the Institute's network.
Thanks. You know, it's good to see you're still in one piece. I wasn't sure what the Interceptor would do to you.
I wasn't worried. After all, I built the device myself.
I have confidence in everything I built too, but that's because I'll only deal with technology that I understand. Speaking of technology I don't understand, I'll get this holotape to Proctor Quinlan. I'm dying to find out what's on it.
For all we know, that thing could be a recipe for Deathclaw surprise.
Well, it's the best we could do with such short notice. Before we jump to conclusions, let's see what Quinlan's scribes can get off of it. I'm sure the Institute has all of their data heavily encrypted, so it's gonna take some time to crack. After that, we'll have to see what we've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe. In the meantime, I've got a new assignment for you. So, I bet you're eager to get your hands dirty on our new project. How much has Maxon told you about it?
Whatever it is, I'm sure it'll help us crush the Institute.
It will, but we've got a lot of work ahead of us first. Come on, it's this way. Unless you're blind as a bat, I'm sure you've noticed that we've been building a gantry.
Aí, subimos de nível.
Maxon and Kells have been looking for something that'll tip the balance when we go toe-to-toe with the Institute. Now, the Pridwin might be a big beast, but she's not built for fighting. That's where our new project comes in.
Liberty Prime.
This storage bay full of parts is what's left of Liberty Prime. The Brotherhood used it in the Capital Wasteland as a weapon against the Enclave. It's the most advanced robot the Brotherhood has ever had at its disposal. Unfortunately, Liberty Prime was destroyed in the line of duty. I've spent the better part of the last few years piecing him back together. And if you think that was easy, try rebuilding a Protectron while you're blindfolded. In order to get Liberty Prime fully operational, we're going to need your help.
No problem. I'm sure this only looks worse than it actually is.
I wish I had your confidence, because this is not going to be easy. Now, the good news is that we've got most of Prime's parts fully assembled. The bad news is that it's going to take more than a few rivets and some spot welding to get them working again. The first problem is his CPU. It's fragile, and every time we try to feed power to it, it blows itself out.
There's gotta be a way to solve that.
I do all the maintenance on the Pridwin, so you'd think it'd be a snap. As much as I hate to admit it, Prime's power systems are out of my league. Luckily, you were able to convince Dr. Madison Lee to return to the Brotherhood. She was on the original build team for Liberty Prime a little over a decade ago. I've already spoken to her, but she's reluctant to work on Prime for some reason. If you could get her down here to lend a hand with his power system, we can get the big guy moving.
Vamos lá, falar com ali. Esse episódio vai ser muita falação, tá? Que é o primeiro episódio também de teste desde quando eu dei essa gambiarra pra salvar o jogo. Então, eu não vou deixar ele muito longo, vou evitar de deixar episódios tão longos agora, pra eu conseguir ter o controle do save. Eu tô comunicando o processo de correção desses erros tudo no grupo do Discord, então quem quiser saber o que eu tô fazendo, como é que estão as coisas, lá no grupo do Discord você vai saber. Se eu lembrar, eu coloco no link da descrição, se não lembrar, por favor, me lembre.
Delta Team, lead to the bridge.
Doutor ali? Deixa eu fazer uma coisinha. Carisma 11.
Dr. Lee.
If you're here to talk me into working on Liberty Prime, you can forget it.
You promised you'd help us.
You're right, I did. But you neglected to mention that I'd be asked to work on Liberty Prime. I've been down this road with the Brotherhood before. Why would I make the same mistake twice?
Because we care what happens to the Commonwealth.
And we want to stop the Institute from using its technological superiority as a weapon.
You know, if anyone else wearing a Brotherhood of Steel uniform said something like that, I'd laugh in their face. But coming from you, it sounds like you actually mean it. Tell Proctor Ingram to get her scribes ready. It's going to take a hell of a lot of work to get Liberty Prime back online, but we'll get it done.
E eu não tô com o uniforme da Irmandade. Dentro daram tudo que eu faço, então Na teoria eu já tô quase no nível máximo com o Dance, só que ainda falta a missão dele, né? Então... nessa do Liberty Prime, quando eu terminar ela, o Dance vai embora. E eu provavelmente vou terminar o jogo solo.
If I'm late for muster one more time, Captain Kells is gonna have me do 100 push-ups.
Talvez eu largue a Curry como robô mesmo, não transforme ela no sintético. Ou eu troco ela pro sintético, troco pra Curry quando o Dance for embora. Tô pensando nisso ainda. Isso aqui eu acho engraçado. Quando tem que andar, a doutora Lee simplesmente se materializou aqui. Porque são duas doutoras ali, uma com esse uniforme e uma com o uniforme do instituto, só pra constar.
Proctor Ingram.
Things are off to a good start. Isn't that right, Doctor?
I hope so. Prime suffered some significant damage to his memory core. I wish your people would have been a bit more careful, Proctor. The good news is that the damage isn't irreversible, and I should be able to get the power flowing into his CPU core without overloading. If your people stay out of my way, that is.
Charming, isn't she?
Sorry about that, Ingram.
Don't worry about it. We might be butting heads on a few issues, but I've dealt with worse. Besides, Dr. Lee's worth all the aggravation. We're working with one of Prime's original designers. I don't see it getting any better than that. In fact, since things are going so well, we're gonna have you start building his electromagnetic actuators.
Makes sense. You'll need some powerful electromagnets to get his arms and legs moving.
That's exactly right. Well, well, you're full of surprises, aren't you? What we need you to do is build the actuators for us.
Even if you know what the actuators are, you still need to know how to make them. These are the plans and the materials list. Don't lose them.
Now, before you get that look on your face, you'll be happy to know that we have plenty of the raw materials on that list right here at the airport. The only thing we need you to head out and find is a high-powered magnet. According to Proctor Quinlan, the best place to find one is in any of the ruined hospitals around the Commonwealth. We've already sent out a few teams to find the rest of the high-powered magnets you'll need. They should be back by the time you return.
Once you start building the actuators, we need one for each limb, so you'll need to make a total of 4. Good luck.
Beleza. Imã de alta potência, tenho certeza que eu tenho no meu inventário lá do Sanctuary.
No matter how many...
Vamos subir o nosso nível. Que aqui eu não posso pegar antes do 46. Eu posso aumentar o dano do crítico. Eu posso pegar a poupança crítica. Poupança crítica. Que é um dos dois que eu ia pegar. Só pra constar, vamos ver aqui os planos. Se eu não pegar os itens, ela não deixa eu fazer? Isso não é, produção? Então vamos fazer o seguinte. Não apareceu para eu construir. Então eu vou ter que ir lá buscar e volto. Então eu vou encerrar o episódio por aqui. Vou fazer um episódio curtinho. E já vou testar save, testar esse tipo de coisa. E eu volto já com os atuadores. Eu já construo tudo aqui. E vou só entregar a missão, pra gente já começar a próxima missão já fazendo a última do Liberty Prime, que é onde o Dance vai embora. Então, valeu, falou e até a próxima. Fui!